Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It is the final week of EXP Agent Attraction Mastery. I'm so happy to see all of you. We have had quite a 4 weeks. I guess this culminates all of it. And I could not be more excited about our special guest today. How he is just so wonderful and so kind to still do these things for us blows my mind. But if you know Gene Frederick, that's just who he is. He takes the time out to help and support all of us. And we've talked a lot in the past 4 weeks about how your up team is here to support you, right? And today is that perfect example. The fact that someone that has almost 17,000 people in his organization is willing to say, I texted him about a week ago and he goes, yep, line it up. So I'm very, very excited. Deb, it might not be a bad idea to shoot Gene a quick text. It is in his calendar. But if you and Shelly might just want to do that while I'm on here, he's really, really good about always remembering. We don't have to chase him down. But anyway, if I don't know you and you haven't been on these previous few weeks, I'm here in Charleston, South Carolina. My name is Meg. I have been with EXP for 5 years. And I just love helping people grow and succeed. So that's the reason I'm, just wanted to do this. This is probably the 3rd time I think that we've had this series. I change it every time. And so what we're going to do for the first 30 minutes today is do some review. I'm ready to hear some stories. I need it, guys. I want to hear some successes that you've had. Even if it's just, hey, I did pick up the phone. That's a success. If you got your list of agents prepared that we talked about a few weeks ago, that's a huge success. If you got them in a database, that's a success. So for just a couple of minutes, I'd love to open up the mics and raise your hand if you have a success to share. I know we have just had some good momentum, I think, that has really been started throughout the series and just through these past couple of months, because as we know, it is hunting season, right? It is agent attraction season. I'm seeing a lot of agents start to go, ooh, the market's not so good, so it must be my company's fault, right? Isn't that the typical reaction when anybody gets into a bad market or they have a bad couple of months? They go, oh, what is my company doing wrong? When we all know in reality that is not the case. So any comments, questions? I'd love to see Kathy Burns. Yes.
So John Padone had an event in Florida about a month and a half ago, and I had 4 guests down there that I've stayed in touch with. And one, she went to Coldwell Banker about 8 or 9 months ago, which I was surprised someone would go that direction. But anyway, she started fresh. She was with a small boutique company, ended up going over to Coldwell Banker, and they paid her much like Compass pays out, which I didn't know Coldwell Banker was doing. So I said, so are you in a golden handcuff right now, or you got to pay it back if you were to leave? And she goes, yeah, but I wouldn't leave because, it's all good. And I go, well, I'm glad you're here with me and you can learn all this stuff. So we've stayed connected. And yesterday she emails me and she was going to talk 2 years into her career, and she was ready to leave the business. And I said, she had hired a coach. And so she was doing all the right things, but she was feeling burnout. And I said, so I spent an hour with her. I gave her ideas on how to help her build her business and work like this. And I said, now, if you bit the bullet one more bite and you just left Coldwell Banker and came over here to EXP, you could get a whole lot more, girl. And she goes, I know I'm going to come to EXP. Just give me time. I got to hang in there. And I said, you are too good to leave this business, this industry. I said, the fact that you hired a coach this early in your career, and she walked 1,100 homes in her neighborhood. It's a big neighborhood. I said, you're balls to the wall, girl. I freaking love you. And I said, you cannot leave this business. Yeah. I said, because you are one of the ones who will succeed. I said, we will just get you whatever you need to know to learn about. So I felt really good about her. And she just called me this morning. She wants some of the things, the product that I do. And so I feel good about her.
Awesome. That's huge. And Kathy, that you are so good at this. And that's one of the things that we talked about 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, and that is inviting people to events. And that's a big part of the presentation before Gino gets on this morning. We call him Gino for those of you that don't know him. But I want to talk today about attracting whales. And Kathy, exactly to your point, a couple of my slides today are about inviting them to events or inviting them to masterminds. And Kathy, I'd love to chat with you and Deb in the next day or so about maybe ramping back up the masterminds that we were doing once a month within Impact, because I really loved inviting whales to those. I think that's super impressive when we can get them on a call like this, where they can go, oh my gosh, I'm learning business strategies from agents across the globe instead of in my little office. And so I'd love to help, if I can, get those ramped up again and maybe get a little group of us that helps put those together, because anything like that, whether it's Zoom or an event, you're so great at that, Kathy, and kudos. That's awesome. Getting people down there was the key, right? So we'll be chatting more about that. Anyone else? I see a couple of chats. Please hop in if you have something. Okay, David Gerwells, it was awesome to see you last week. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. I'm ready to come back. Lisa, I see you on here too. All right, let's jump right in, guys. I'm going to go ahead and work very quickly through some slides. And we're talking about attracting the whales and becoming a master connector. And then, of course, we have, still have Brent on here from last time. I changed the last slide. Sorry, guys. Every week, real quick, homework check-in from here on. So we've had weekly homework. I'd love for you to put in the chat box how you did on your homework last week. But every week from here on out, you're going to need to review your goals 2 times a day, guys. We can have goals, but if they're not in front of us and we're not reviewing them, we don't have them memorized, they're not in front of us, I think it can really make a big difference. Also, watch 5 expert videos, and I'm about to tell you where to find those. There are so many places, but I'll give you a few suggestions. One of the ways that I was able to start doing presentations for my organization when they have agents that want, that need a Zoom call, was I learned stories. We talked a lot about that last week. Be ready to write down facts about Gene's story today. Learn it, put it in your brain, memorize his bio. Learn Shelley's, learn John's, learn your sponsors, because it is really important. But also, I went back and watched a ton of videos. I practically had Brent Go's video, which is now called the modelexplained.com, memorized. I would listen to it in my car. So try for the next month when you're in your car to listen to experts talking about EXP, rather than maybe the radio or something like that. Practice objections with your partner on a weekly basis and do those calls with your partner every single week. We've talked a lot about having an accountability partner and how critical that is. 20 calls a week minimum, 3 appointments a week, and then you do those via Zoom with your partner, okay? Examples of expert videos. Multiple training videos on brentgove.com, guys. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times if my car had an autopilot, my computer has an autopilot to brentgove.com. He's just so amazing, and he gives us so much value and, so many things that we can share with other people. The Model Explained is your Bible. Keep that. One thing I always suggest is creating a notes page. For those of you that are Android users, I don't know how this works. Maybe put it in the chat box, but for an iPhone, I just have a notes page that's titled EXP Resources. And I'll tell you, as you start to grow, it is really critical to have all of these links and then some at your fingertips really quick. So I'm a big texter. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm all about texting. Don't email me, text me if you need me, right? So text these links, have them right at your fingertips to be able to text out to people and say, hey, let me know when you have time to watch this video of Brent Gove. It's amazing. Or for people that are builders that would be builders, that are influencers in their market, invite them to events, have those, the Cabo link and the Build link and the Shareholder Summit link and the EXPCon link for each year saved in that notes page, and you're ready to just shoot them off. Okay. Revenue share calculator. There is one on YouTube. I always say check with your upline, whoever you like to speak to, about people that you're talking to, just to make sure that they're comfortable with you sending it to that particular person. I do not recommend just sending this to everybody, because some people aren't as into revenue share. Some people wouldn't understand it as much. But for the whales that we're about to talk about attracting this morning, that video is really critical sometimes. Jay Kinder has an amazing video on attracting independent brokerages. Gene Frederick is known for his napkin presentation. I wish I had time to show it today, but there's the link. It's actually done by a top agent. Gene, I had trouble finding the original or like a professional link to yours, so I wasn't sure if it was there, but we're going to talk about that. But the napkin presentation, memorize it, know it. It's like a 5 to 10 minute way to show people the potential of their earnings with revenue share. And it was brilliant, the way that Gene did it. Successful people breed success. We've talked a lot about this in the last 4 weeks. So I want to ask you this morning, who are you attracting? We've talked quite a bit about how you attract versus pursue on instant media, Instagram, social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of those great things. And look busy. Be the agent that creates fear of missing out. Be the agent that is knowledgeable about your market. All those things we've discussed in great detail. But I want to talk a little bit different this morning about whales. And when I refer to whales, it's obviously the top producers or teams, right? We're going to talk about time spent on attracting agents and building a revenue share organization that is sustainable, the time spent versus your return this morning. So I'm going to go into a bit more detail on revenue share and the levels. I think it's really important to understand all of this. Do I say not to attract new agents? Absolutely not. That is not the message that I want to give today, but I am going to just hopefully get your wheels turning a bit on time spent versus return. New agents are pretty time intensive, right, guys? They're usually not as connected with other agents, which is something that's critical to start growing your group deep, okay? It's harder for them sometimes to see EXP's specific collaboration benefits, referral benefits, revenue share benefits, stock benefits, when they have no reference point on what other real estate companies usually offer, right? So I always make it a point, if I'm on a call with a newer agent, to say, what do you know about what Coldwell Banker offers, for example, or Keller Williams or RE/MAX or a local independent brokerage, because they really don't have that reference point. So sometimes it can be a bit harder for them because they haven't received that commission check, for example, that's $2,500 less than what they were expecting it to be, right? And they just can't sometimes understand the benefits as well. They can take months and months to produce, which means it can be months and months before that level 1 agent becomes an FLQA, a level 1 qualifying agent for you. However, when you're looking at experienced mid-level producers or top teams or team leaders or independent brokerage owners, if you get them on your level 1, it's less time intensive, which means you have more time to do what? Spend on more agent attraction techniques, spend more on nurturing your current organization to help them grow and learn. And so it's less time intensive for sure for you. They need to adjust to EXP systems, which is always a challenge, right? Anytime you move companies, it is a challenge, but they don't need to adjust to the business. And I think that's a big difference, right? It's much easier to have an assistant, for example, to say, hey, I've got Sarah ready to help you with onboarding, or we at Impact Worldwide offer this person to help you with onboarding. It's much easier to do that than it is to have to go through, hey, these are the ABCs of real estate. Here's how we do this. So, you know, it is much less time intensive for that. Faster level 1 qualification, they've already built connections, guys. So obviously someone that has connections with other agents in their market or across the globe, it's going to be much faster and easier for them to start expanding your downline or your revenue share organization. How to unlock it. We have not really gone into true details in these past few weeks about exactly how to unlock. We did talk about it in week 1, but obviously if you stack your level 1s across to 40, then you've opened, and they're FLQA qualifying, meaning they've closed 1 transaction in the past 6 months worth 5,000 in GCI or any other number of transactions. So to help your group go from level 1 to level 7, you want as many builders as you can get across your level 1. I hope this is starting to resonate with some people, because a lot of people just think, I don't know exactly how this works, but I'm telling you, I had an interview last week with AJ Maida, and he asked me, what would I have done differently? The only thing I would have done differently is more whales on my level 1, and I would not have been afraid to contact them. So that's what I want to focus this next 10 minutes on before we start up with Jean Frederick. Jean, are you on here? Someone said you're on here. Hey, Gino, how are you?
Doing good.
Good, good, good. I'll try to build
No,
up.
good stuff. You got all good stuff.
Okay, good. I'll try to build everybody up for your awesomeness. We're so excited to have you today. So as I was mentioning, level 1 whales are important. We talked a lot last week about attracting team leaders and attracting indie brokerage owners, which right now, guys, in this market is number 1. They are really all starting to look for alternatives to help them be more profitable. So obviously, when you unlock get your whales on level 1, they're usually going to bring level 2 and level 3 agents right along with them. And then we help them grow down to level 4, 5, 6, and 7 for you. So immediately you're growing not just your level 1, but other levels when you attract these whales. Attracting successful agents, remember, they put their pants on the same way we do, guys. You know, I mentioned that in that interview, I said, if I'd have done anything differently, I would have not been afraid. And I'm not normally a fearful person. I wasn't afraid to put myself out there. I think everybody has known from day 1, Meg Watson is EXP. I've not been afraid about that. What I was nervous about, just like a newer agent, right, that is afraid to go after listings or afraid to maybe go after the $1 million listings, we can all be self-conscious about calling up somebody in our market, or whether, you know, if they're not in our market, and saying, you've got to hear about this. I would have done more of that with big builders, and I've got some amazing ones on my level 1, but I would have tried to start off with maybe even 6 or 7 or 8 of those from the get-go. Well, I can't attract whales, Meg, because here's all the excuses. I don't produce enough. Those of you that might be on this call that produce, you know, 6 to 8 to 10, maybe even only 2 or 3 transactions a year, I have a story to share with you. AJ Maida, who is Shelly Johnson's sponsor into the brokerage, Shelly Johnson and I did a presentation for AJ at Keller Williams back when I had been a team leader up in the Charlotte market, a broker in charge up there. Shelly and I both left that company, went to Keller Williams, and she said, Meg, I'm going to help you grow your downline. Let's work on this, because they do profit sharing. And so we started doing classes for presentations for real estate classes. And guess who was sitting in the very front row of one of the first presentations we ever did? AJ and Abby Maida. And it was so, you know, they were bright-eyed and bushy-tailed like they always are, if you know them. And they ended up talking to us afterwards. We did a little EXP presentation. We brought in some donuts or something. And AJ ended up coming over to EXP then. So he came to Keller Williams. He had a small team, but AJ will tell you himself, he was never a whale in his market, okay? He was growing it. really right as he started to grow the team a few years later is when he heard about EXP. He jumped ship, went to EXP. None of us even knew. I didn't know he had left. Shelly didn't know he had left, and he was in our downline. Shelly ran, Craig, actually, LePage, Shelly's partner, ran into AJ in a Keller Williams parking lot where they were still working, right up there in Charlotte, North Carolina. And AJ said, hey guys, if you ever think about making a move, this is something you need to look at. They didn't even know he was there already. And so then Shelly called me and said, oh my gosh, I think we might have found it. This is what we've been looking for our team. So he's the first one to say he was not a whale. Guys, I wasn't a whale. Now, I have not done near what AJ and Shelly and Jean and Brent and all these awesome role models have done that we have in this company, but I was not a whale, and I've been able to completely replace my real estate income. In fact, double my real estate income from revenue share in the past couple of years. So you don't have to be a whale. I don't run in that circle. You know, I'm a good example of that, I think. I've never been the one that really runs with the big uppity ups. A lot of people will say, Meg, why don't you go to downtown Charleston or whatever to meet more people and maybe date? And I'm like, because I wouldn't fit in with that person. That's not my crowd. And, you know, I think a lot of people are that way. Sheila Fejeron is the perfect example of this. Do any of you know how Brent Gove got into eXp Realty? Sheila had heard him speak and she just idolized him. She had heard him speak. And I want to say, Jean, correct me if I'm wrong, that it had been 3 or 4 years prior to Sheila coming to eXp that she had heard Brent Gove up on a stage doing a presentation for realtors. She had at that time had her Rolodex, right? Now it's all in our phones, but she had her Rolodex and Brent's business card she had saved all those years. When she heard about eXp, someone told her, probably you, Jean, don't be afraid to call Wales. Pick up the phone. Let them know that the gift that we have here. She picked up the phone, and that one phone call, I literally have chills right now, you guys, changed her entire family's life forever. Like, it makes me emotional to think what has happened in this amazing woman's life, and so many people's lives. So if you ever get the chance to talk to Sheila, she will inspire you. She will change your perspective on life, and she will tell you, I didn't run in that circle, but it really changed my life that I just had the nerve to do it. Oh, they'd never pick up the phone to talk to me. I think that's really what it all boils down to. All of these fears that we have in our minds. You know what? Leave a message and show them why they would pick up the phone. Show them some value. Don't be, hey, Dave, this is Meg. Really want to talk to you about eXp. No, before you get on that call, like we've talked about so much, find something of value that you can offer them. Hey, we've got a mastermind coming up, a global realtor mastermind, and I want you to be a part of it. Before I got on this call today, the Dave I'm referring to just got a personalized text from me saying, hey, in 10 minutes, if you can hop onto this, learn about recruiting better agents to your team, right? So think outside the box, leave that message. Don't be afraid to do the voice text messages that we talked about too, and voice emails. Those are super amazing. So we have talked about some of this, but for attracting whales, showing your success, or if you don't have it yet, showing eXp's success is what's going to bring those whales to you, okay? So on social media, show busyness. We've talked a lot about that. Client testimonials. Agents watch these, okay? So if you go back and look through transactions you've done over the last 5 years and you failed to ask them for testimonials, what a great way to reconnect with them and go, you know what? I have been really slack. But I've got a good system now, and I'm collecting testimonials. And then what do you do with those? You blast them everywhere to show, hey, I am of your league, right? You should be talking to me because I crush it, because my clients love me and I work well with others. Market trends and news, we've talked about that. New community announcements, and ask someone to interview you. Right when we finish this call today, I'm going to be going live on my personal Facebook, interviewing Robin and David Phillips, two amazing rock stars in my organization. They didn't reach out and ask me, but I thought, during this time where times are shaky for everyone, we need to be posting a lot of interviews about who is successful, right? And how they become successful and how EXP has helped them do that way, helped them do that. EXP successes, guys, is almost solely how I started building my group. I just shared. I've said this about 50 times in these 4 weeks, but go to EXP Realty announcements daily. Do not miss it. Take those My Life stories and just share them. Send them through Messenger, one-on-one. Say, hey, you know what, Dave? This story resonated, and I thought it might mean something to you because it was someone that brought a team over. So use those EXP global expansion announcements, successes, do gratitude posts about how successful you have been able to be with EXP. So it's all about attraction, right? Anything and everything you can think of to attract those whales to you. We have talked a lot. I ended up focusing last week on this. So a few of these slides, I'm going to skip right through and get started with Jean. But we talked a lot about last week, pain, right? Identifying that pain. We went through some scripts that I hope were helpful to you to try to hone in on where is that pain with that team leader or with that brokerage owner or that individual agent. We identified where their usual pain points are. So go back and study those before you make your calls and be ready to ask open-ended questions to really dig in, because they can say everything's honky-dory, but usually there's something that you can dig in and find. And guess what? We're the solution, right? We talked about the fact that we are the medicine. Just a quick reminder about hot buttons for individual agents and team leaders. Team leaders, for sure. I train agents, then they go out on their own, right? That's the biggest headache, the retention. Paying more and more for office space, responsibilities for training, technology, huge overhead for lead gen, retention, retention, retention. So they're all really feeling that pain right now. And guess what's happening? As we talked last week, the overhead has not reduced along with the reduction in sales. So we are right there where they're about ready to need to walk into the doctor's office, guys. And we need to be that doctor's office where they walk in and we give them the medicine that EXP provides for every single one of the pain points that we have. Independent brokerage's hot points. We talked about this last week, but I wanted to remind you, this kind of puts it all in one fell swoop on one screen. Keeping up with all the national brands, of course, which means recruiting and retention, technology tool expenses, and just trying to even keep up, risk of lawsuit, bankruptcying their family, retention, lack of referral sources, staff, training, fallout, company advertising expense, payroll, you name it, you've got it. All the copiers breaking every 10 minutes. All right, I'm going to talk 2 seconds here, and then we're going to be right on time for you, Jean. Demonstrate community. We have talked quite a bit about scripts, right? And in those scripts, we did talk a lot about Impact Worldwide. We've talked a lot about EXP and all the tools and collaboration that we're able to experience on a daily basis. But they don't know what Impact Worldwide is. They don't know what the EXP culture feels like. How do you show them that? Create a community. If you're in a town where EXP is really just starting to take off, or you say, well, we don't really have a leader here, Meg. There's no one doing local events here. Do them yourself. Call me, text Shelly. We'll help you figure it out, right? Shelly's traveling all over the place right now doing events. Reach out to Shelly Johnson through Deb and just say, hey, can you come to Wyoming or wherever you might be? Let's show the culture of who we are, not just in your local market, but the way to do that to people outside of your market is invite them to these masterminds, live stream these masterminds that we do that are on business and impacting your business and growing your business. All right. Celebrate your culture, make them want to have what you're having. FOMO. This picture will probably be one of my all-time favorite pictures of all time. Mike Hart, I see you, Jean, Shelley, Jennifer Pratt, Tanya, you were here. Like, just one of the most amazing memories of my life was when this picture was shot. Dave Canord was on this boat with us. I mean, it was just amazing. We were in Cabo. Guess what, guys? Dive in and get to Cabo. It's coming up. It's the end of March. I've already booked my flight. I want to say I have close to 100 agents in my organization who have already committed, booked their flights, they've got the hotel. If you don't have a hotel, don't worry about it. It will happen. We will find you something, or you can crawl in my bathtub. We'll figure it out, okay? So just worry about the flight and the event ticket. BrentGove.com is where to find out. So dive into the culture, get yourself to some events next year, invite agents to these events. Cabo, all the information is on BrentGove.com. Like I said, it is sold out. Don't worry about it. The rooms are sold out, but get yourself a ticket, book a different hotel that you can cancel that's a block away, whatever, and we'll get you there. We'll find you a room within the resort. People always cancel last minute. And Build 2023 is another huge event that is happening in July this coming year in Dallas, Fort Worth. So some great, awesome things. Events bring people. Kathy Burns shared that awesome story about that. I know Jean's going to talk about that as well. So what you say is, if, here we go back to this famous phrase that we've used a lot, if I would, or if I were, would you or could you? So if I were to pay for the room and the event ticket, would you commit to getting there? Let's get these whales to these events in 2023. One last thing, how often would you tell the I caught a whale story, right? Is your fish this big? No, in your stories, your fish is always this big. It's only going to take one whale story to last a lifetime for you and totally change your life. And with that, we are going to bring on the biggest whale in the company, Jean Frederick. We are so excited. And I didn't mean that in an overweight way. Because that didn't sound right, did it, Jean? If you don't know Jean Frederick, I just could not be more blessed to be able to call him a friend and to have him as a partner. And I really mean that, Jean, you know that. Jean was the former owner of 6 Keller Williams franchises, an entire KW region, one of the most profitable KW regions in the country, if I'm not mistaken, in California. A successful agent for how many years now? 30, how many in the business?
Let's just get on with this.
Okay, joined in 2015. He's on our board of directors.
Too many of my buddies. I see too many of my buddies on here.
All right, let's do it. Go, Jean.
Hey, Hilton Head, how are you? Let's see if I can get most of you guys on my front. I love seeing you guys. If I make sure I get everybody on here. Yeah, full screen. There we go. Woo! I'd like to talk to you guys. Hey, first of all, before we get started, Megan, you can start asking me questions. I've got a couple things I want to do. Write down any question you want to ask me. This is for you guys. The way I do these things is I'm going to give you some stuff in the beginning, but really I want you to ask me anything you want to know or anything about attraction that's been bothering you. I mean, what Meg just did in a half an hour is like an 8-hour seminar. Just so you know, I mean, I was going through that, but my gosh, she's going fast, but it was just like good stuff. Write it down first. Hi, Amani. Oh my gosh, I see all these people that I just know. It's like craziness. And Kathy, wow, Kathy Burns, how are you? You know, I'm speaking to you from Puerto Rico. I want to give you something I just wrote on an airplane the other day. That's when I do my best stuff. I don't know about you guys. 7 ways to lead generate for agents. 7 ways to lead generate for agents. I think there's 7 ways, Chris, and what I'm going to tell you guys is I want you to pick one of them. I want you to pick one of them and just dominate it. You don't have to do all 7, but you've got to pick one. And I think what I've been teaching now, look at this. Look at it from my wallet. My wallet. It's like awesome. It's like awesome. Okay, first off, write these down and then we'll come back and talk about it, but I can't do the whole thing. Number 1, any real estate transaction, of course, an offer, a contract, doesn't matter if it ever closes. any contact with another real estate agent. Number two, affiliate relationships. This is how I started. Your mortgage person, title person, insurance. Man, I could go into your town right now. I could go into Hilton Head and talk to title people and get all the people to talk to. I mean, it is so simple to find real estate agents, but you have to have a vehicle to find them. That's probably the way I did it more than not. I would say real estate related affiliates, and number two, personal affiliates. If you don't think you know agents, ask all your buddies. Who'd you use to buy this home? Who'd you use to buy this home? That's how we do it. Number three, real estate schools. You guys talked about it. Okay. You can either go in your town or in your state. In Texas, we could do lunches. We could do that. You could, if you can go in person, do that. Or number two, own one, buy one. I don't care. Or number three, teach at one. Teach at a real estate school. New agents, guys, as you guys know, 5 years from now, like 70 to 80% of the business at NAR will be done by agents that don't have their license yet. Write that down. That's real. Number four, warm calling / texting. There's no such thing as a cold call. If you're talking to a real estate agent, guess what? You're a real estate agent, they're a real estate agent. Come on, get over it. So the thing I will tell about warm calling and texting, I'm big in open houses. I go to your market right now and just go to open houses Saturday and Sunday, and meet as many agents as I could. I don't know if you
Sorry,
call.
Jim, I need this.
Number five, social media. Oh, that's, Gene, why did you bring that up? Number one. Well, guess what?
We get a good idea.
The people who else I'm doing. I want you to do, become a star on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Zoom.
Sorry, hold on one second, Jean.
Somebody talking in the background.
There we go. I think I found it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And, but you know, Mike Sherrard, all these guys, call up Mike, say, how'd you do it? I'm really big into this. He will share everything with you, how he did it. It's amazing. You don't have to be in his RevShare team for him to share. Number six, become part of a group. What do I mean by that? If you're a Ferryite, if you're a Tom Ferryite, a Brian Buffiniite, if you're a Tony Robbins kid, a Grant Cardone kid, any group you belong to, you guys, there's so many realtors in those groups. NAR, WCR, Women's Council of Realtors. Hey, how about a wine club? I have a buddy that he says, Gene, I find all my realtors through my wine club. I just drink my way through success. This is real. I'm telling you, get part of a club. And number seven, here's the key. Number seven, you're all going to do number seven. I kind of lied in the beginning. You're going to pick 1 through 6. You're going to dominate it. You're going to get agents to contact. And then number 7, when they join your team, guys, when they join your team, you're going to ask them for the top 25 people you want to help them bring to the company. If you do that, if you guys get 10 people in the next month, you'll have another 250 people to call.
I love it. I love it. I love
How
it.
fast did I go? Did I go quick? Am I good?
Also,
Now
what's
I can
that?
relax. By the way, I thought about this. Everybody that's the Brent Goves, the Rob Flicks, the Ned Watsons, the Shelley Johnsons, they've all picked one way. I think they really have picked one way to really, really dominate. I sat at a coffee shop for 4 years, 2015, 16, 17, and 18. I can show you a picture of the coffee shop, and I invited people to meet me there. And I did everything one-on-one, belly to belly. That's just the way I did it. You know, the key thing is, I think in this market, guys, because of COVID, COVID's over. They want to meet you in person. You know, it's been a long time. If I was you guys, I would go belly to belly with as many people as I could. And I'd try to do at least 1 interview a day. 1 interview a day. If you guys do that 5 days a week, not 7 days a week, 5 days a week, 1 interview a day, your RevShare will just flourish. Not 3 like I did. I did not sell real estate. I wasn't selling real estate. How's that for you guys? Come on, ask me some questions.
I love it. I love it.
I want you guys to succeed, but you have to have a plan.
Absolutely.
Next time I see you, I want you to take this out of your wallet, just like I did. It's all strictly now. And I have it in my wallet at all times so I can share it with people. I want you to share what how you're doing this with me. Okay, you got to be able to show me your plan. It's got to be with you at all times.
Jean, tell me, if you hear people, or if you see people that kind of got a slow start when they came into the organization, you know, hey, I've got to make sure my production stays up. I've got to make sure people know. I hear that a lot where they say, I need to focus on my production the first year or two. What really do you think turns them to where they go, wow, this is a much easier way to grow my future through agent attraction?
Hey, Meg, how about a down market?
Mhm.
That'll switch you. How about my buddy that called me from, and by the way, I'm helping him out. How about my buddy that called me from Fort Myers? Lost his home. He doesn't have a home. I mean, everything's gone. And he says, Gene, I guess I should have done that rev share more, huh?
Aw.
He's been with us 4 years. Don't wait for the home to be destroyed. Don't wait for the market to be down with you. You've got to start now. Now, by the way, the reason, as human beings, the reason we sell real estate and don't attract people is we've just never done it. The reason you guys are on this call is you want to learn how to do it. It's just another skill set. Don't worry about it. You'll get better and better and better, but you got to start. And by the way, it happens all the time. There's nothing wrong with saying, okay, I want to sell real estate for a year, get my money coming in, and then I'm going to start doing attraction. That's fine. That's okay.
As long as you start, right? You just got to
You gotta
start.
start now. By the way, this is perfect. I've been waiting for a downturn. I don't mind calling it a downturn because it's my fourth one. The 80s, I was there when I lost half the realtors in Texas in 4 years. You guys didn't experience that, not unless you were in Texas and in the real estate in the 80s, but half the realtors were gone. Guess what? What's NAR predicting for next year?
Quite a reduction. Do you know? Yeah.
Probably if you call your board today, they'll probably be telling you we're expecting a 30 to 40% drop in agents. I don't know what it's going to be, but if the interest rates stay high and everybody's still scared because of inflation and they're scared that they're, people just get scared and they don't move. So if we sell less homes, there will be less realtors. Fact. Guess what? This is when agents will talk to you. I've been waiting. I couldn't call Shelly Johnson when she's just doing awesome at Keller Williams and she's just doing great. She's making so much money in 20 and 21, they won't even look at you. Now you call them and they go, hey, Kathy, how's it going? Yeah, Kathy Burns, how's it going? You go, whew, I don't know about you, man. Yeah, let's talk. Talk real estate with them. Talk about what's going on in your market and then say, look, I think I've got a solution for us.
Yes. A great question in the chat box, Jean, is what would you say is your most effective one-liner to grabbing an agent's attention?
This is my best script. Get ready to write it down.
Ready.
Hello. Howdy. You'll take it from there. You guys are salespeople. My gosh, you have more scripts in your body. The problem is you don't say hello. My best script, and like she said, Meg said, I was scared to call some people in the beginning. I didn't call them because I thought, well, I don't, how about hi? How about boom? By the way, you can do it by voice. You can leave a message. You can text. Guys, if you're scared to talk to people, text them. Right? Text them. But my gosh, the hardest thing to do is say, I'm going to do 5 a day. I'm going to do 5 contacts a day, right? 5 days a week. The key is to be consistent, right? The key is to be consistent. I had 3 appointments a day scheduled, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 appointments a day, 5 days a week for 4 years, just 4 years. That's all. Now, the thing is, if somebody didn't show up, I just made phone calls during that hour. And the key was I was consistent. Consistent hard workers make this happen. That's why I love Brent Go, Rob Flick, Tracy and Lewis and Scott Lewis. When I started working with them, I found out they worked as hard as I did. Woohoo! I like to find people like that. Find your running mates. That's a thing that you haven't talked about. Find your running mate. Who's going to run with you, man?
Yes.
Find your running mate. Have fun. Guys, who made up that thing, making real estate fun again? Dudes, I'm not doing this. Man, I sold 6 offices in a region. Hey, you want some motivation? Sell everything. Sell everything in your house. Ah, come on, guys. I did. You don't think, somebody asked me the other day, Meg, they said, hey, is this going to work? How'd you know it was going to work? This was just asked last week. I said, dude, sell everything. Tell your wife you're going to sell everything you've built for 21 years, and then you'll have a little motivation.
Yeah, right? You
I
think?
told him I knew it was going to work. Why it was going to work? Because I was going to work so hard that it was going to work. It was going to work. I didn't know how long. I didn't know how. Within 8 months, I had 100 agents in Austin, Texas. 8 months, 100 agents. Woohoo! What's that other company in Austin, Texas? There's another little one. You
Is-
know, guess
is your-
what? In their background, you know, boom. Let's go.
I love it. And what you said about finding your running mate, we've talked a lot of in this series about an accountability partner. It's the same thing, right, guys? When you got into the business, whether you were assigned a mentor or not, almost all of you found one and you latched onto them, right? Find your running mate in this and that accountability partner to do those calls with you via Zoom. It makes you more accountable. It makes them more accountable. And it, you know, I can't tell you the difference it's made for me because none of us typically like structure, right? We're realtors. We don't like being told what to do and we don't like having to have a schedule, but putting that in your schedule, just like you did for prospecting with your business. I totally agree, Jean.
Hey,
It's a
hey,
big
I bet you half the people are mad at me because I didn't give a script. I'll give you one. Half the women are going, yay, he bailed on that one. Okay. We are going to grow. We are the only company I know this year that will grow this year by a lot. We're going to go from 71,000 agents to about 89,000 agents. Okay. That's 18,000 net. All right. I can guarantee you everybody else is going to be flat. So you can call everybody and go, do you want to know how we've added 18,000 agents net this year nationwide? I'm sure your company's done that, and I don't know who they are. It doesn't matter. Name their company.
Mhm.
Check out your company. And I guarantee you nobody's done it, guys. This is a revolution. This is a new model. This is a brand new model. This isn't the old-fashioned model. We're not going to tread water during the downturn. We're going to still grow during the downturn. We might not grow as fast, but we're going to grow.
Let's talk a little bit about timing. You know, being in recruiting in the past, and I know you were as well, October through December is what I call hunting season, right? It's really when agents are starting to analyze, and we talked about this quite a bit last week, analyze their numbers and how much they paid their company that year. And with any downturn, I was saying, I think you were on here earlier, that everybody always looks at their company first. Oh, well, my company must be doing something wrong because it couldn't be me, right? I've always been successful in real estate. So what's wrong with my company? What can you say timing wise that's different about this hunting season than say the past couple years?
Well, the biggest difference is they'll now answer your text or answer your call. They now will respond to you where before, and here's the other thing. Small brokers. When I say small brokers, you know, under 200 agents, 100 agents, 25 agents, small brokers before were doing so well after COVID. And before COVID, I hated talking to them because they just didn't, there was no need. Now with the small brokers are going to be coming to us going, wait, I'm losing agents. They're going to lose their 30%, right? So now that 30% is going away and you can go, wait, I've got a way to solve that. Bring them over to us. We've got health insurance. We've got all these things, you know. I really think the difference now is more people will talk to you. That's just basically it. I was excited. We did this all in an upturn. Guys, we grew this company in an upturn. Great. But it's going to even be better because all the other companies are going to start losing agents and we'll stay level or go up a little bit. and we'll just have more market share.
Totally agree. Totally agree. One thing you said is health insurance. So important, guys. It's funny. I don't think I hit on that last week when we were talking about the pain points, but especially with their income decreasing, paying those marketplace fees or, whatever plan they may have, it's going to become even harder and harder and harder. So giving them at least the opportunity, it can just be a great way to open a conversation to say, go to this website, get your quote, whether you're with an agent, an agent with us or not. It's what is it? Agent Healthcare, expagenthealthcare.com. But yeah, they can go there before even becoming an agent. And secondly, with answering the calls, you are so right. I cannot believe how easy it's been to get people on the phone the last month because I think they're bored. We have all been used to just running, barely keeping our head above the water. And all of a sudden we're like, I have 2 meetings today, or I haven't had a showing in 3 days. And so they're wanting more interaction, I think, with people and have a lot more time on their hands. Any other questions?
Shout me some questions. Anything you guys want to know today or what's going on?
Gene's ready for you.
I am ready. I'm fired up today.
Kathy Burns, David Gerwells. There's so
Look at
many
those
of
guys.
you on here.
Yeah.
Marge, you guys are never afraid to ask
Lisa,
questions.
Yeah, David Gerwells, Hilton Head Island. Gene, we are working a lot with independent brokerages where we have a lot in our area. Can you talk to me a little bit about how your conversations are going in terms of pain points for them and where we can best address and meet them on that initial call to get interest in EXP?
Well, number one, their production's going to be down next year. I already know it. So I will tell you this, if they are a company that's doing transaction fees, right? If they're a company that's doing transaction fees, there's a lot of them out there. Get ready for them to start losing money and having a hard time. So the owners instantly, 30% less transactions, 40% less transactions. The pain points are always this. I was an owner, guys. I was an owner. I relate so well. Number one, you work your tail off, and it's just a constant. It's really relief. I call it taking the anvil off the broker's shoulder. Let us become the broker. They'll go, what? I said, no, you don't have to be the broker anymore. We do all that for you. We take all the risk. That's probably number one by about 5 times because they are just sick and tired of the grind. And if one person sues them, right, they could lose everything. That's probably number one. And number 2 is just the financial part of it, the financial part. And tell them you'd like to run numbers with them. Get me on a call with them. Guys, I've owned offices. Man, I feel like I'm the smartest person on earth when I sold everything in 2015. Because I used to own the Carmel office, the Cupertino Market Center, the Palo Alto Market Center with $48,000 a month rent. That was 2015. So I sold all of them. And now it's like, well, you were smart. You don't have that headache anymore. You don't have the rent. Who are you going to fire to make ends meet? Right? The old-fashioned model is tough, guys. I call it old-fashioned. Don't call it traditional. Traditional is football. Ask my wife. She's a football nut. Tradition is football, and Thanksgiving, and Hanukkah, and Christmas. Don't say traditional brokers because that means the good stuff. I say old-fashioned model all the time. I use it all the time.
I love that because I usually say traditional. That's awesome.
No, tradition's the South, Charleston.
Right. Hey, I want to challenge everyone, and we do have more that we're going to cover, but real quick, like we talked about in the last few weeks, look busy, show the value of EXP, show the collaboration with like we're doing right now with agents across the world. Take a picture of your screen, get as many people on there as you can, get as many photos on there as you can. Take a picture and post it and just say, once again, learning from top agents across the globe. You don't have to talk about the topic, whatever you want to do, but share. Yes, Gene.
No, I'm just waving for the picture. I think
Oh.
taking a picture. It's awesome.
Jean, I got a question for you, Jean. So there's all this stuff in the news, Inman News about Compass being buried and laying off, and a couple other, I think it was Redfin laying off like crazy. So I talked to a Compass agent who called me about another thing, and I said, what are your thoughts about what's going on with Compass? She goes, oh no, we're just getting ready. We're getting ready for what's coming. I go, all right. And so I said, have you looked at EXP? She goes, oh yeah, we're so much better than them, and wasn't willing to go. But I'm thinking they're just being told what they need to hear as Compass agents. So they're really not digesting it, maybe because out of fear. Again, change. What are your thoughts
Well, you
on?
know, their managers, Kathy, might have given them really good scripts. I don't know. Or they might have, they might be doing a good job of keeping them right. Compass is just like any other company to me. They're old fashioned. They got the old fashioned model where you have rent, right? That rent's going to kill people. We're going to have so many brokers go out of business in the next year. You watch it. I don't really know what Compass is doing. Quite honestly, when they say I love Compass, I go, cool. I love EXP. That's all right. I want them to love their company. And they go, well, I love it here. I go, cool. We want people that love their company. That's exactly who I'm looking for. I am not looking for people that hate their company. I tell them all the time. They go, I'm happy where I'm at. I go, good. Good. That is a good sign, because now we can talk.
Gene, I love that, because I think oftentimes we want to immediately go into counteracting, and so I love that you just say,
No,
great.
how about this? How about this? What makes you happy about Compass? She would have said that to me. She goes, I said, what makes you happy about Compass? Tell me about that. I ask a lot of questions. I talk a lot when I do these things, but if you ever are in an interview with me, you will see me ask questions, and be quiet. I'm really good at listening. I'm really good at understanding that person. I don't want to leave without knowing who they are. If I got a half an hour, I'm going to know who they are. I'm going to know who their dogs and cats are. I'm going to know their kids, their mom's name, their dad's name. You guys don't understand. I get very personal on my calls. Why? It's about them. It's about them. It's not about us. It's not about EXP in the beginning. Get to know them. Become a professional person that likes. Hey.
Hi, it's Juanita. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I have a quick question. So I've been actually focusing a lot on new people, new realtors that's just come in the business. I love helping, so that's the reason why. But I'm finding that I've talked to, must be over like 50 over the last, because I do this between 2 and 5 o'clock. I'm calling agents. So about 50 in a month or so, or a little less. And I'm finding I'm not closing them, and I'm letting them watch the Brent Grove video. So I know that they're totally informed. And I'm telling them we have a lot of coaching. We have a lot of, support. And I'm still finding that a lot of them are still, I don't understand what the problem is, why they're not joining. And they are talking to other agents too. So.
Are they in your market? Are they in your market?
Yes, they're in my market.
Are you meeting with them in person?
No, they're all Zoom.
That could be the problem.
Oh.
If they're in your market, I go belly to belly. This is just me. Man, if they see you, they're joining. If they meet that smile, they're joining. Seriously, we talk Zoom, but I'm this big on Zoom,
Right.
You meet in person, you're going to get to, and then you can ask the questions. What are you looking for in a real estate company?
Right.
You people only care about one thing. How are they going to make their first sale?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't give a crap about rev share or stock. I'm just telling you, they don't. You can talk about it, but it's all about training.
Okay.
Training. Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I'll do.
And have mentors for them lined up. If
Right.
you're not going to mentor them, somebody else is going to mentor them. Make sure
Yes.
That's what I would do.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet.
One thing that Shelley and Jean, I think you probably started all of this, but one question that I love to ask Juanita when you're finishing up meetings like that is, I know you're talking with other people, and I think that's great. I think you should know what everyone out there has to offer. But let me ask you real quick, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you currently stand? A, with your decision-making process, and B, where does EXP rank according to other companies? And then when they say a number, say, what will it take to relieve any concerns to get you to a 10, right?
You asked that question.
Good.
But they're saying 9 and 10. That's so shocking me. And they're still not joining. I'm like, what do I say? Where are we going wrong? They're so excited. And then I don't know.
Well, what I would do,
I agree, Gigi.
what I would do is if they're excited, they're a 9 or a 10, I would take out I'd be on my computer and I'd go, well, we're going to fill out the application right now. Right?
Okay.
Let's just fill it out right now. Get them
Yeah,
to commit.
That's what I need to do. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where it's okay. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Any last questions for Jean? And then I have one final question that I don't think you're going to want to miss for him. Anyone? David Gerwels asked if the other companies are the old-fashioned model, what title are you using when contrasting EXP?
We're the new model.
Okay.
We're Amazon. I'm using Amazon now. I said we're Amazon because my wife always has 3 boxes outside the front door every day because she orders something that comes the next day. So we're Amazon and everybody else is JCPenney's and Sears. It's that different. And then I ask them, have you been into a JCPenney's lately? And they go, no. And I said, neither have I. It's been like 5-10 years. That old-fashioned model is gone of real estate. Everybody will have a virtual company 10 years from now. Mark my way.
I agree. Jean, I want to ask you a final question. It's a little loaded, but when you found EXP 7 years ago, I would love for you to maybe compare what you expected your life to look like, because you had already retired, right? You thought you had your life all lined up. What did you expect your life to look like? Number one, what contrasting, what is so different about it now? And I want to hear about the legacy effect that this has created for your family and what that means to you.
Yeah, I think, I was retired when I found this. My big why is my 9 grandkids and my 5 kids, right? I think everybody's why is their family, but I wanted to leave something behind. I wanted to have a legacy. Actually, when I owned the 6 franchises in the region, I actually couldn't sell them to my kids. Did you guys know that? If you own a franchise, the first right of refusal is international. So if you own a Keller Williams franchise, they get to buy it from you first rather than you sell it to your kid. So I found out I couldn't even leave something behind. So that's why I did it. How did I know it was going to work? I just knew. I knew agents would love the fact that they could have stock and rev share. If there's only 12% of us that love rev share, that's enough. I want you to be in the 12% that love rev share. We don't have to have everybody attracting agents. We just need 10%. 10% times 87,000 is 8,700. We have more people talking about this company than any company on earth, right? What's it done for my family? First of all, I had vision boards in the beginning. I will tell you, I hate to tell you this, my visions come true. Now it's taken 7.5 years. Get your vision board out, make your vision. I had it right up in front of my car. I would drive into it every day when I came home. It had yachts on it. It had stuff on it. I had no idea I'd be living in Puerto Rico, right? We moved here 4 years ago. I did know I'd have a yacht someday because it was on my vision board. It's coming, by the way, in February. But when I tell you guys this, I hate to tell you, my life is kind of like what I wanted it to be. Is that okay? Is that okay to say? I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. I mean, I get to meet all you guys, all my new buddies. What's different is all my new buddies are you guys. I mean, I see so many friendly faces I've met at our conventions, and it's just it makes me feel good that I'm helping you, because I want to help agents. So the key is to leave something for my family and to help real estate agents forever get out of the rat race. That is my whole goal, because there's going to be 30% less of us next year, supposedly. Well, if there is, I want you guys to be part of it. Go be that passion to agents. You got to have passion when you talk to folks. You know, you got to bring it. If you don't believe you're changing the world, you probably won't attract them. If you don't really think we have the new model, you won't attract them. I do. I really believe everything else. I just lump them all together. They're all old fashioned. If they're not virtual and they're not doing stock and rev share.
Yep. And I think too, when you say passion, think about what's going on around us right now. How many people are we seeing with real passion right now? We were seeing a lot of people with passion the last year or two. I'm crushing it. I'm selling all these homes, blah, blah, blah. Now they're sitting at home eating bonbons, freaking out, right? Like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? So passion and energy and excitement and knowledge and all of these things that you've discussed today, and that we've talked about these past 4 weeks, it is more critical than ever, I think, timing wise right now. Not only, like Jean said, are so many companies going to be going out of the business or really struggling and looking for a better solution. Team leaders are going to be doing that. Individual agents are going to be doing that. But for anyone to do a video and put something positive out there and have energy and passion, I have 3 interviews lined up with my people within my revenue share group this week between now and Friday. And I'm going to go live on Facebook with them all. Because why? They're going to be sharing fun, excitement. Hey, are you going to Cabo? Good. I'm going to see you there too. I can't wait. And people are going to be like, I'm sitting at home in my jammies eating bonbons and these guys have energy. So I think energy and excitement, which you always bring and you always have, Jean, you and Brent, when you look at any good leader, they've got the passion and the energy and the excitement. So whatever we can do to help you with that, guys, if you just need a pickup, if you just, need, hey, I got to do something that brings energy to my group, or I've got to do something. I will tell you this, and I'm going to go back to this slide really fast. Let's see, the Cabo experience. You will never, homework real quick. Identify 10 whales that scare you. I think they need to scare you. Rewatch EXP Explained and Jean Frederick's napkin presentation. Jean, somebody dropped that link. I wanted to make sure I had the current one, but it is in the chat box. So if you're on here, right click it, save it to your computer, watch it, watch it, watch it. Jean, it was just one of the most brilliant ways of explaining how it gives a visual, right, of how this can really affect people's lives. Call all 10 whales this week and 15 other agents and get 3 appointments set. And don't forget, reach up. Reach up, reach up, reach up. We're all here to help you, and we want to help you grow and expand. If you've not registered for Cabo 2023, there's also Hawaii coming up, right? Maui in February. So there's another link for that on Brent Gove's website. I mean, that's even smaller and more intimate. You'd be right there with Jean and Brent and Glenn Sanford and all the major influencers in the company that are all, they'll change your world. So if you're not booked yet, please do that. I cannot thank you, Jean, enough. Is there any last minute things that you want to add? I want to make sure we haven't missed anything.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you guys for getting on the call. You're the people, you're my peeps. Because, you're the ones I see at the convention and you give me big hugs and we do Zooms and, do little calls. Just yesterday, I'm in Palmas and I meet these people. Beautiful couple. And I sat down and they wanted to know about EXP. They're not in real estate. I found out later, after talking to them, that they literally are famous. I'm not famous. People just know me in EXP. I'm not famous. They are literally famous and have like 50 million followers or something, some ungodly thing, right? And then when they post something, 1 million people watch it every time. Now, when I got through talking to them about EXP, by the way, I did this little thing I did with you guys today. I took it out and I said, look at this. They said, we love your passion. That's all they remember. That's all they're going to remember. And they're really looking at EXP. They're famous people. Does that make sense? But he asked me at the end how much money I make. And I told him, he says, Jean, do you know you're in the top 10 in MLMs in the world.
Wow.
I said, no, because I've never been in an MLM. I've never done any of that. I'm a realtor, right? He says, you literally are in the top 10 wage earners of any MLM in the world. I said, well, look at that guy over there, Brent Go. He's right with me. He goes, oh yeah, you guys are. Now, did we expect that this quick? No, right? But I'm just telling you, that's for you guys to get. It's out there. You know it is. We're going to have a big turnover in the real estate industry. Big turnover. Go get them. Go get them. Go get your buddies. It's time to be passionate about it, Mary Ruth. It's time to just give the call and say, look, I'm not taking no for an answer. We're going for Coffee Tuesday. And I want to share this with you. Get belly to belly and we'll win.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Thank
And I
you,
miss
guys.
you. We can't wait to see you in Cabo or in Maui, Jean. And thank you again so much for your time. Give Susan my love
I will.
and
Thank
all
you,
those
guys.
awesome grandbabies.
Be good.
Everybody, thank you so
See ya.
much for sharing the last 4 weeks with me, guys. I just appreciate each and every one of you so much. And I've learned from you, which is one of the reasons I love doing this. So hope to see you and be on calls and have a lot of fun together coming up in 2023.
Woohoo.
Take care, everybody. Thank
You
you.
guys.
Bye. Thank you, Jean.